11 minutes past the hour of 8 a.m. here on Church of Uganda Family TV. Thank you so much for waking up with us. The song that played before that was Breathe from the collective UG. And yes, even as schools go back, reopen and whatnot, we need to remember to breathe. Yeah. And for the parents, I'm sure you, after dropping your child off to school, now you can finally do what? Breathe. All right. Now, today we are going to talk about how to breathe as well as students, but also teachers. How do we enable these students to live their best lives, but also what should we look out for as teachers, particularly for their mental health. Now, today with me, I have a mental health activist, very, very passionate about mental health. I want to think she's my friend, but I have Mr. Atim, Stephanie, with me today. Thank you so much for joining us, Stephanie.
Thank you for having me.
Do you prefer me calling you Atim or Stephanie? Stephanie. All right, Stephanie. Just tell us who you are, what you do. I know you're a lawyer also. Yeah, but tell us who you are, what you do, where you work, and why mental health.
Well, my name is Atim Stephanie, and I'm 23 years old. I'm a lawyer, and currently I am pursuing my postgraduate diploma at LDC, so I'm not in work. I'm really passionate about mental health because I feel like it's the most important topic there is in life. Like everything that you have to do or everything that you will succeed or fail at is based on your mental health. How mental health is basically your ability to cope with stresses of life and how you're going to manage times of change, such things. So if you cannot manage or if you cannot deal with this with your mental health, then your productivity in life is just going to be poor in general. So I figured if we could raise awareness on mental health and our productivity as individuals, as a community, as countries, even as the world, would be really great.
Great, huh?
Yes.
Is there a particular scenario that clicked for you and you said, I think I need to start minding a lot about mental health? Yeah.
Well, not personally, but I've had friends and family close to me that have really had very bad experiences because of mental illness, and it was very difficult for all of us because we did not exactly understand what mental health is, or this was all new to us. Yeah. So seeing the people that I love close to me suffering like that and me not being able to help kind of drove me to read and learn more about mental health. Yes.
Awesome. Stephanie, you talked about two things. One, you talked about the mental health stresses of life, but also if you're not able to cope with the changes. Now, the last 2 years, Stephanie, have been coped with both of those things and much more. Yeah. Stress of life, there have been a lot of changes. And for the student who has not been to school since March 2020, that's almost 2 years, if not already 2 years. What's the mental space they're in now that they're saying, okay, now schools have reopened, now come, paint for us a picture of what that student would be like mentally?
Well, I think when COVID came, we all had to adjust. It was basically a world trauma experience. Yeah. So we, as students, we had to adjust. Now we have left our daily routine of waking up at 5, coming to school. Then we have to now adjust with home duties, and that has been us for the past 2 years. Yeah. So now here we are. They've said school starts. So you're now thinking, what next? Do I go back to how I was before, or do I get something new?
What do I do?
What do I do? We're all confused. And yet the truth is, we really can't go back to how we were. It's never going to be the same. Because now we have been exposed to so much more. And we have been traumatized, for sure. We have been traumatized. So as a student, I'm sure they are anxious. They're anxious as to what is coming. The beginning of term exams, have midterm exams. Some of them, or most of them, haven't done their holiday packages.
Yeah.
So they're all wondering, what is the teacher going to say? I have had all this time. Then they also think they've been home, so they've been seeing how their parents are struggling.
Yeah.
So here they are also thinking, I cannot disappoint my parents. If I disappoint them, what's going to come of that? So they are stressed. So you're going to find students who are overworking themselves. They'll wake up maybe at 3 in the morning, read.
Yeah.
That's all they're doing because they want to make up for lost time and they want to make the people around them.
Particularly like candidate classes, right?
Like candidate classes.
Yeah.
Yes, there's that. Then there's also the teachers that, we have lost time. There's no time.
Please.
So there's also that. They're really going through a hard time. There's a lot of stress. Most of them are in new schools.
Yeah.
You have no friends in this new school, and making friends is really hard. Personally, I have trouble making friends.
Yeah.
But so imagine a child who you cannot make friends. You're in a new school, even education. Now you haven't really been reading for 2 years, so you're very rusty.
Yes, you don't remember how to grab a pen. You don't know how to write.
You don't remember how to do all those things. So you're just learning.
Yeah.
And I think with depending on the environments they're in, they all I think everyone will get stressed. I truly believe everyone will get stressed, but then the environments that they are in determine how they're going to manage that stress. For example, if the child, for example, if you're in a school where they beat you all the time for every small thing, you're going to be a lot stressed because you're still trying to figure out your timetable, but then there are also all these demands that you must meet, and if you cannot merge them, then there's going to be a problem.
There seems to be some bit of expectations we lay on our children, but also as students, we have expectations from our parents, expectations from our teachers, expected from our friends. So you're thinking, man, how do I balance all these things? But also, just to follow up after that question, just help me, and you had already started answering, how then should the students cope with it? How should they cope with the stress, with the anxiety, with the worry, and with the meeting all these expectations?
Well, for this, I can't say there is exactly one way to follow. There are very many different things because everyone is different. So you have to just find what's comfortable for you. For example, you could do exercises, not really exercises that tire you out, but something that's just going to get your blood flowing, like just to boost your energy. When I was in high school, there was this girl, she used to play basketball. But whenever she was really stressed, even if it was exam period, even if it was just whenever she was stressed, even if it was during like class, like she just maybe ask for a break and then she would go to the basketball court and just shoot hoops. And she after that she would feel so much better. She actually told us it helps her out a lot. So you could exercise. When you're too stressed, you could rest. You could sleep maybe 30 minutes, 5 minutes, depending on.
But teachers would then argue that you've been sleeping for 2 years. There is no way. In fact, evening prep ends at 11. Morning prep starts at like 5. Those are about like 5-6 hours of sleep.
Yes, but then, these are the school systems. You could get maybe during lunchtime, have your lunch for like 10-15 minutes. Then, because lunchtime is usually an hour, then maybe for the other 15 minutes, take a nap. That would help you much better than just eating lunch and you go revise and you just burn out. Then other people who journal, there are people who like writing. Poetry, just generally just writing about your day. It helps you, you're expressing yourself, so you're letting out all those emotions that you generally can't let out normally. There's also people like the singing, dancing, things like that.
Will schools have MDD this term? I think we are trying to cope with the new curriculum. I mean, there's a new curriculum, there are new systems. So MDD might not be for the schools. I think I may be wrong.
That's true. Another way for them to cope is talking to someone they trust. Maybe be it a friend, maybe a teacher, or a counselor, nurse, anyone you trust. Yes.
All right. Coping with stress there. But Stephanie, what happens when I might not have access to all these things. And you're saying I need to journal or do sports, but I believe that everyone has their own, as if coping mechanism,
yes.
right? If for you singing does it for you, I have a poor voice. Singing might actually just reduce my self-esteem, so I prefer not to sing.
Yes.
For me, it might be sleeping or whatever. But how do you discover your, particularly for a student who is already they're on a timetable. They know from this time their life is planned out, for example, for the whole year, for all the terms. How do I then discover, or how did you discover that thing that helps you cope? How do you discover that?
Well, the only way, I feel like the only way you can discover is if you try out different things.
Okay.
For example, if I tried out sleeping this week and I still feel so tired, I still feel so exhausted, next week I'm going to have, maybe next week I'll try journaling. But if I can't do that, maybe I'll try maybe a few sit-ups, a few push-ups here and there. Yeah, just like that.
So try out as many things as possible.
Yes, till you find, because you have to practice self-care.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing for you as a person. So you have to find out what's best for you before you can. Yeah.
So there are different kinds of students. There are actually three. There is pre-primary, the very young ones, nursery, baby, or what. There is primary, and there is secondary. And I believe all those people have their own. For example, the nursery and a little bit of the lower primary. People who have been waking up on cartoons, sleeping on cartoons, playing, as their life has been, they have been happy. Guys, a bit of upper primary to as if secondary school, house chores, teenage pregnancies, all these things have been happening in that particular age group. How should, are there different, those coping mechanisms that you mentioned, I feel they are more secondary-like. But for a child, for a primary school child, for example, how should they cope? Is there a way, particularly for like the teachers who are watching, or people who are watching, is there a way you can help that child cope, even as they come back from school in the evening? Okay.
Okay, now for nursery, lower primary, those are children that are highly dependent on the adults. So it's going to be the job of the adults to help them through that. The teachers are going to have to be more patient, more compassionate, and because they are trying to adjust. These are things they completely do not understand at all. So it's upon the parents to talk to them, to actually, not just how was school, how was your friend, how was your teacher, but actually how was your day, like get to know get to know how they were feeling throughout the day. How was school, what did you go through, all those things. And it's not only just the job of the parents, but the teachers too, because those are two different environments. So the teachers also have the duty to ask those young children, how was home, how is mommy and daddy, how are they doing this and this, are you okay, did you eat, did you sleep, those things. So yes, for the pre-primary and nursery, it's mainly the job of the adults. They have to also understand what mental health, mental illness, to actually be able to reach these children, because you're not going to just come and talk to them and say, how is your mental health, and keep quiet. And getting a child,
I don't think they would know how to answer that either way.
Yes, and getting a child to actually talk about them, you really have to be engaging. They have to trust you. They have to feel comfortable around you in order to open up.
That's true.
Yes.
Right.
And then for now, the primary like P4 to P7, there's a children who they can understand something. So you talk to them, like tell them. I feel like this is a point where we should actually educate them about mental health. Tell them that this and this is what happens when you feel like this, that fear, when you feel, explain to them what anxiety is, explain to them what stress is, so that they can be able to help themselves, but also to help their friends, because they're not, the students are not, they're not going to always come to the parent or the teacher.
And the role of who is supposed to do that? Is it the parent, the teacher, both? Everyone?
Everyone is supposed to do it. They're supposed to teach them how to how to be in an environment with other people, because we have been isolated for so long.
That's
so
true.
You're going to have to teach them how to engage with others. What do you do? Learn to do? How do you observe SOPs? Those things.
Teach them social skills. How do you talk to people? How do you interact?
Exactly. We teach them all those things. And also help them understand the importance of all these things. I help them understand that the situations that people are in, that for example, we have come through very tough times, and like you're going to find income inequalities in schools. There are rich kids and those who are not so well off. So how are you going to talk to this rich child to tell them that no, do not go around telling people, oh, you don't even have this, you don't have this. How are you going to teach them to be compassionate? Yes, all those things. Even when you find now with such a class, there's been a lot of adolescence happening within the past 2 years. So you're going to go to school and find your former P5 classmate. She now has boobs. She has so what are you going to tell? Are you going to just go ha 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 and laugh at her? She's going to feel you have to teach them that no, that's not what you do. All those things, so that they can help themselves and also help others.
That's very true. And you've talked about changes, and it's true. During that 2 years, a lot has changed. And the truth is, these students have been exposed in terms of some of them have made money, so they are thinking, if I've touched this small money now, I'm good. Some of them have been exposed to, let's say, sex and whatnot. Teenage pregnancies on the rise. Many have really been exposed. They now know some things about their parents. They've been traumatized. They're like, hey, I thought mommy and daddy were happy. Yeah, they fight at night. All right, this is nice. Okay, this is okay. So they have gone through particular changes, traumas, and most of them, if not all, most of them, they weren't helped then when they went through them. And it's true, like for example, what you said, adolescence has happened. The person who you are with in P5 now should be in like P7, so it means a lot has changed. It will be a little bit, it will be an awkward scene there. I'm like, hey, you guys, you have some small beard here. Okay, that's nice. Something like that. But how then do we deal with those particular kinds of students that have gone through changes, really, that have gone through traumas, they have touched some money, they have gone through puberty, they have been exposed to sex and all these other things on TV, on what? How then do we deal with them? Because they will come with that particular mindset also to school, and then start telling their colleagues, Stephanie, by the way, the other time I saw something here. And anyway, something like that. How do we deal with them?
I think that could be a teacher's duty, I could say, or the school's duty, to come up with maybe programs that are going to raise awareness and educate these children on these things. For example, teaching them that adolescence is normal, and yes, even though this is a topic that's actually then P6, but not so many teachers actually really dive into it. The whole
they are shy.
They are shy.
They are shy about it.
So there has to actually come about maybe comprehensive sexuality education, where you're going to teach them that yes, adolescence happen, this and this, but it happened and it's normal. You're not going to go and force or disturb someone because that happens. It's going to happen to you. And it happens at different intervals. You help them understand that because this one has beards now doesn't mean they're the judge. Doesn't mean because people they have such names in primary. Then also, then you're going to have to teach now, like for example, kids who have been exposed to sexuality and sex and all those things. You're going to now have to talk to them. Maybe generally talk to the school about sex and its advantages and disadvantages. There's no point in hiding that it does have advantages. Because
they have been exposed.
They have been exposed. But then also have strict policies against these things that are actually implemented. It's not just having a policy that boys do not disturb girls, girls do not disturb boys. But when it happens, you just be like, there actually has to be proper implementation of these policies for them to understand if you have sex in school, you're going to be expelled, you're going to be suspended.
As if consequences, that there are consequences to the actions that you do, for example.
There should be proper consequences. But then also in the event that maybe this person someone has come to school and she was pregnant and had a child, are you going to chase them away? No, you're not.
There's a bishop in Kayunga today in the papers who was saying that they need to chase away pregnant girls because his argument is that it's actually to help them, because the student who will see her pregnant will probably either laugh at her or will be disturbing her, and that would mess up with their mental. So his argument was, guys, go first have the baby, then come back.
That's true, but yes, they will laugh and whatnot, but why not educate the majority to understand this situation than ostracize this one person just because they will laugh at her? So I think
that's an argument as well.
Yes, I think there should also be some leniency for such people. For example, yes, things have changed in their lives, and right now the COVID and school are there are two things that you cannot ignore, but how are you going to merge them? If you can't merge them, you're not going to really do anything.
All right.
So, yes.
Awesome. Stephanie there with a conversation about mental health and how to deal with it as a student, but also you as a teacher. But now we have been discussing more of the student side. But when we come back after the break, the people who are going to be interacting with these students every single day are the teachers. And but here for the boarding students. So for the teachers, are they ready? What mental space should they be in as teachers as well to deal with all these cases of insecurities and money and all these other things? What then should they do? And Stephanie, Atim, is here to enlighten us on these things. Let's go in for a break. When we come back, we'll be coming back with more here on Church of Uganda Family TV.
Do you have a business that you are looking to grow? Advertising with Church of Uganda Family TV is the way to go. We are located on Church House, level 13, along Kampala Road. We offer favorable rates and an extremely creative production team that will work with you to take your business to the next level. To give us a ring, call us on 0781 084215 or 0750 655232. Church of Uganda Family TV, enriching lives.
Brethren, yes we can. We can clear the debt of Church House, and I want to invite you to give generously to the love gift. May God bless you as you give.
Let's talk.
Let's talk. Let's talk is an uncensored program on Family TV that attempts to answer questions that are unanswered within our church settings. Questions like sex and money, drugs and alcoholism, prophecy and prophets in our country. So, catch us at 9 p.m. every Tuesday on Family TV as we explore different topics and make attempts to answer the different life topics. Every Tuesday with me, Manuel Odeke. Let's talk.
Easy Change Forex Bureau We deal in all major foreign currencies like US dollars, British pounds, euros, Kenya shillings, and very many others. We are located at Church House Level 1, Shop number 4 along Kampala Road. We operate from Monday to Friday 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. and on Saturday 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. For more information, contact us on 0706 09 4189 or 0783 837363. For the best forex rates, Easy Change Forex Bureau is your answer.
Do you know that you can now enjoy great enriching shows anywhere through the Family TV app? Here is how to download it. Open Play Store on your phone. Search for the Family TV app. Click Install. After installing it, open it and enjoy enriching content anywhere, everywhere, anytime. Family TV, enriching lives.
All right, 23 minutes to the hour of 9 a.m. here on Church of Uganda Family TV, and the conversation continues. Schools reopened today. There is a lot of traffic jam on the roads. There are a lot of suitcases and mattresses and basins flying around here and there. The taxi park is opened again to accommodate all the students that are going back to school. But today we are asking, are the teachers ready? Are the students ready? Even as we reopen schools. And joining me today is Atim Stephanie, who has been discussing the mental health of the students, but also now we want to dive more into the teachers that are going to be interacting with the students. How prepared are they? How should they be prepared in case they haven't been oriented, in case they haven't gotten their own counseling, let's say? How then are they prepared to handle the students? Are they even ready? Stephanie, thank you so much again for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me. Well,
yes. Before the break, maybe before you dive in, before the break, you were talking about students and how they need to cope and how they need to deal with their thing. In case they are stressed, in case they are worried, in case they are anxious, this is the way they deal with them. But in most of the things you said, you said a lot to do with the adults. The teachers need to talk to them. The parents need to talk to them. They need to discuss with people. But teachers, how ready do you think? Do you think they are ready? First of all, but also if they are not ready, how then should they be ready?
Well, I do not know if they're ready, but I don't think that they're that ready. I don't think they are fully prepared for the things that they might face or the things that are there. So I think they're experiencing a lot of anxiety because you just do not know what you're going to find at school. You do not know who you're going to find, what characteristics the children have picked up. As it, what they are. For like primary school teachers now, especially P5, P6, P7. That's when pupils are now rowdy. So imagine you were here with these young boys and girls, and they were rowdy then.
But
now here you're going to find they have grown up and they're now even rowdier.
Yeah.
So
and remember, they already know that I'm not supposed to be in P5. I'm supposed to be in like P7. So, yeah, I'm an adult.
Yes, or maybe there's some boys who have gotten a bit big and they're not trying to threaten the teachers. There's a lot of stress and anxiety that they will be facing, and I think because also many teachers are also parents.
True.
So they are also going through that fees, where are we going to get requirements, are we going this, and they haven't been working.
Yeah.
So money is also scarce. So I think they're going through a lot of stress, anxiety, a lot of maybe depression from losses, and they haven't maybe gotten enough time to deal with that.
Yeah.
But most importantly, for them to go to school, they're going to need to understand mental health in general. They need to understand their mental health in order to help the students. Because if they cannot deal with their own stresses, they're going to come to school and shout at the students. They're going to come and maybe be so easily irritated and punish them for maybe things that do not really need punishing. And so I think because of such things, the teachers are also in fear for themselves. They just tense, they fear criticism and judgment for maybe what has happened before, or how they are now, or maybe they are a bit rusty in education because they really haven't been focusing on education.
That's true.
For the past 2 years, so they are a bit rusty. That you're going to ask a question, you might ask a question in class and he doesn't remember. So that might also lower their self-esteem, which is going to reduce productivity for the school as a whole. Yes.
All right. That means that most of these teachers have been going. I want to think have also been going through stuff, which means that it's very easy for them to put all their anxiety and their stress on the kid.
Yes.
And sadly, I want to think that sadly there is no way of supervising that, because as a child, as a student, I'm thinking that the teacher is the place of authority, and so whatever he says, it means it's true. And that, don't you think, Stephanie, that then that the teachers are the biggest stakeholders, let me just call them that, or the responsibility falls on them a lot, because they now have the power to either damage the already damaged esteem or whatever of the student, or the good side of, or the flip side, to actually now use their, I want to call it power, for lack of a better word, to use their power as teachers and authorities in these kids' lives to then uplift them and make them better. Don't you think so?
Yes, they are. They actually are the biggest stakeholders. So if they cannot balance their own, they're going to greatly affect the students. So that makes them each other's keeper. Like the teachers themselves have to be able to notice if their fellow teacher is going through something, so they can talk them through it to help them cope. Maybe the school can come up with policies that actually checks on these teachers, because it doesn't make sense to always have maybe a counselor for the students and students, but you're leaving out the teachers, staff members, because they play a huge role. So they are as adults, they hold their own burden, but however they also hold each other's burden. They have to be able to talk to themselves, to just like the students, they have to be open-minded. They have to be non-judgmental to these things. Like if a student comes to you and is talking to you about their fears, about maybe the anxieties and stresses, you're not going to be like, there are people who are worse than you. That's not something you're going to tell them to make them feel better. You have to understand them. It's just like if my fellow teacher came to me and is telling me about, oh, this and this happened. If you could lend a helping hand, you'd lend a helping hand. Help them find out what their coping mechanisms are. Because if you help them, you're also helping yourself and everyone
helping each
large.
other.
Yes.
So that means that almost same, not necessarily same as the students, but also teachers have a very they have to be, because now they are adults, they have to be more self-aware. I think that's what I'm hearing.
Yes.
Self-aware and know that, by the way, I'm going through this thing and I need help. So in case I'm not ready to teach, in case I'm not ready, because it's very easy for a teacher to say, man, I've had a very bad day, or my life has been fake. Let me decide to, because of a mistake of one student, the whole class might get a punishment. Everyone lie down, each one like 5-5. But discipline, I want to talk about discipline even as we come to the end.
Yes.
Discipline. Many people argue, the argument has been there for a long time. Discipline, how should we discipline students? What? Yeah, some people say talk to them, others cane, others for the bougie kids detention, go to the corner. I don't know. Discipline, but how important should discipline be, and how should we come up with how to discipline? Because we can't say that no, don't cane. Some people might think caning is the best, but how then do we arrive at that particular discipline that won't mess with my mental health as a student?
I think discipline comes in different ways. For us in high school, we were told to dig anthill.
Hey.
Yeah, we were told to play grass.
Hey, yeah.
Those things. So it depends, I think, on the school. The school has its rules. The school has how they discipline. They say maybe this one is going to get canes, this one is going to expel, suspended, internally or externally. But then also discipline is kind of subjective.
Okay.
You're going to say you beat students, yes. The other students, you don't feel anything when you beat them. Like they,
in fact, you haven't helped them.
You haven't helped them. Or they know that they're going to beat me. So they'll be like, I have 5 canes. Let me just do this thing. I'll get the canes and it will be done.
Yeah.
So it really doesn't help. So I think there should be many forms of discipline. And then it's also very essential and pertinent that they understand why they're being disciplined.
Yeah.
Because you cannot just find them doing something and then come and you beat them.
Lie down.
Yeah.
Why?
So they have to understand why they're being disciplined. If they cannot understand why they're being disciplined, they're most probably going to repeat the process.
Yeah.
So they should learn to be accountable for their actions. They should be taught self-accountability. That if I do this and this, there will be repercussions, and those repercussions those consequences must be met.
Yeah.
So if you must be strict. You must be strict on that consequences.
And the consequences
of
part.
your actions.
Yeah.
That's going to teach them to be more cautious and more, I think, more aware of what they are doing. Yes, that's my take on that.
All right, Stephanie, we've come to the end, but before we close, just want to hear your thoughts. Talk to that parent who is watching us. I want to talk to 3 categories of people. 1, to the parent that's watching us and thinking, yeah, the truth is, this morning, just dropped off my kids, and the truth is, I don't know how they're going to cope. Their attitude is fake. I don't know how they're going to cope. I don't know how to help my kids. Then talk to the students and the children, let me say, pupils that are, they might not be watching, but what then should they do? What should be their focus now? Now that, this seems like brand new information, brand new season. How should they cope as well? What should they do? And then lastly, the teachers, your last thoughts and words and encouragement to them as well. So those 3 categories of people.
Well, for the parents, I'd like them to know that the child is going to be okay. But they need to be patient with the child. They need to understand that this is new. Even if it's just been 2 years, it might seem little, it's a lot. It's a lot for when it comes to education, because just 1 month without reading, you can forget almost everything.
Yeah.
So there has been less revision, so they have to be a lot patient with their child. They cannot expect excellent grades right now or at the beginning, but they should have faith and take it step by step. Just take it one day at a time.
Yeah.
Because if you overthink it and you will burn out and you stress yourself out too much. Then for the students and the pupils, it's the same thing. Take every day as it is. Do not expect to get 100% in all your exams at once. Read at your pace. Like, yes, they'll tell you prep is like 3 hours, and then you have extension of like 2 hours. Yes, but like learn to use your time properly. Let me say I'm going to read for 45 minutes, I'll take a 15-minute break, or I'll take a 10-minute break, then I'll resume. I'm not going to burn myself out reading the whole night, the whole period, and then not actually resting. Rest is very important. If you do not rest, you cannot reach your full potential. It's very pertinent that you rest, you eat food. It happens a lot. Actually, sometimes people, even me, sometimes I forget to eat when I'm reading. So it's very pertinent that you read, eat, and drink a lot of fluids while at school. Talk to your friends if you're feeling bad. Talk to your teachers. Talk to your counselors. Yes. Then
the teachers. Just encouragement to them as they face this mountain.
For the teachers too, they need to also rest, to pace themselves, to also be very analytical and open-minded. This also goes for the parents. We have to be open-minded as a group, because people have very different trauma experiences, and they're also going to be those very, very, very small things that you as a person might not find that big of a deal, but it's tearing this other person up. So you have to be empathetic and open-minded, and also respectful when talking to them about their issues or about their experiences, so that they can open up fully, so that you can find a solution together and help each other. Because if you help one, you're actually helping a lot.
Everyone. All right, Stephanie, there, Atim. Any last thoughts, words, I don't know, generally to the people watching? Where do we find you? Something like that.
Oh, you can find me on, I work with mental health focus part-time, and I'm a student at LDC. You can also find me on Twitter, on Instagram. Yes. Same names. Yes.
All right, there you go. What I'm hearing is expectations. We like those things, those expectations, but during this season, even as schools reopen, it's okay to lower them a bit. It's okay not to, don't die on the mountain. Don't die trying to dig it, because you need time, and everything takes time. So for the student, for the teacher, for the parent, even as schools reopen today, remember that be easy on yourself. Don't go too hard on yourself. Expectations are good, but don't set them too high where you're going to struggle and you're going to die as if trying to meet them. That's what I'm hearing from Stephanie. But thank you so much for waking up with us here at Church of Uganda Family TV. For all the students that have gone back to school today, please have a nice time, enjoy. Please read your books, it's very key, that's why you're there. But also, please, if you're struggling, if you need to talk, get a friend, get someone to talk to. Don't die alone. Let's go through this year. Let's first finish this year properly together. And for the candidate classes, we wish you all the best. Go and excel as much as you can. For the teachers, it's what you signed up for, man. Just go and do it. Just go and push through it. Help these students, help these young people. Let's build this nation properly together. All right, we're going to go. We're going to sign up now, but we'll see you again tomorrow at the same time, same place, here on Church of Uganda Family TV. Our social media handles are at COU, that is at Church of Uganda Family TV, on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. We stream live every single day here. So make sure you go if you've missed any of these episodes. If you've just joined us and you're thinking, what's Byron talking about? Well, go over to our YouTube channel, that is Family TV Uganda, and find out what I've been talking about today on school reopening. Let's go for kids vibe, where for those kids now who are still at home, you need to enjoy this, the next segment of the show. This has been Morning Glory here on Church of Uganda Family TV. We'll see you again tomorrow at 7 a.m. Have a good morning.